This is Onyx Alexander, ASMR. This is my first soft-spoken video, so still getting used to speaking like this. But yeah, this is my Q&A to get to know my channel. It was requested by New Year, New You 23. And let's see. Okay. I got quite a few questions, so we're gonna see how it goes. If you're new here, welcome to my channel. And if you are a returning subscriber, welcome back. So, welcome back, welcome back, welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. Okay, so first question is from Killjoy Alice 666. What music do you like? I love this question. This is like my favorite question of all time. I have a lot. There's a lot that I like. I have like I think it's like over 150 public playlists, and then I have like 250 playlists total. So like 100 of them are private. But yeah, so what music do I like? I listen to a lot of cold wave, dark wave, post-punk, so a lot of like goth influenced music. I listen to some indie. I kind of listen to like a little bit of everything, but the most like prevalent, I guess, like if you were to like look at like what percentage of each genre that I listen to, post-punk and like dark wave and like synth pop and synth wave, so good. Those would be like the highest percentage. Yeah, such good music. I love like the 69 Eyes, Rosetta Stone, Ministry, Bauhaus. Bauhaus is a classic. Of course, it's kind of a given. They're, surprisingly, they're not my favorite band. They're not like, I don't listen to them as much as I listen to like other post-punk music and bands. But yeah, so it's very kind of just in the goth genre, I would say. That's like mostly the kind of music that I like. Oh, I do love Epic the musical, so I do love some musical theater as well. And I do see, like, there's just so many genres. There's so many genres that I listen to. But yeah, I'm gonna leave it at that, because otherwise I'm just gonna keep talking about it. Okay, so then, let's see, next question. Taylor CX3VB asked a ton of questions, so we're gonna dive into those right now. So what are your goals for your YouTube channel? Honestly, I don't really have like any goals in particular. I'm just kind of like, I just like wanted to start like doing ASMR. I would love to gain like a big following, honestly, and to like start posting on a regular schedule. So we'll see what happens. Their next question is, what is your biggest achievement so far in life? which is kind of a loaded question to me. I don't know, I just feel, that feels like, wow, that's like because there's a lot that's happened. There's a lot. My biggest achievement so far in life, I would say, is making it past 20. And that's the truth. That's the truth. Yeah, making it past 20. And helping myself in, like, through the transition of, like, becoming an adult. Yeah. The next question. Any big plans for 2025? Yes, I have lots of big plans for this year. Lots and lots and lots. I've actually been carrying around, like, a list of just, like, things that I like, kind of like a bucket list, just of things that, like, it's kind of like a crazy dream, but it's like I want to do it, and I just carry it around with me. So lots of big plans, lots and lots and lots. Lots of big plans. One of those being getting my own apartment, because I'm done living with my parents. I'm sick of it. So the next question is, what are your favorite movies? I love this question too. This is such a good question. Oh, there's so many. There's so many. Oh, my top one, I would say, I would have to say the 1994 Crow with Brandon Lee, because it's such a good movie. It's such a good movie. There's that one. I love The Lost Boys. Love The Lost Boys. It's such a good summer film. Oh my god, it's just so good. I have a lot of favorite movies, but like those are like the first two. I love Beetlejuice. Beetlejuice is such a good film. Trying to think of other movies that like are like on my list, because I have a list of them. Honestly, I just like a lot of horror movies. I love horror movies. My favorite horror movie. Oh, honestly, it's kind like, it's a little bit of like a classic, like a cliche, I feel. But I Know What You Did Last Summer. It's just so good. That's like one of my top favorite horror movies. Let's see. Like, of course, now that I'm trying to answer these questions, I'm forgetting every movie that I've ever seen ever. I love Sleepy Hollow. Sleepy Hollow, the one with Johnny Depp. Really good. That's like, I've seen that a bunch of times. I like Dark Shadows. That's also with Johnny Depp, and I think they're all Tim Burton films. Yeah, I love Tim Burton films. Love. And yeah, anything with like Tim Burton and Danny Elfman. Like, I love those movies. They're so good. So good. Okay, I'm starting to ramble now, so we're gonna move on. Okay, the next question is, did you get your wisdom teeth removed? If so, any funny stories? Okay, so I do have a funny story. So when I think I got them out like a few years ago. Yeah, I was like at least 2 or 3 years ago. And my mom took me, and she was driving me home. And the first thing I did when I got in the car is I opened, like, I put down the sun visor, and I like opened the like mirror, and I started crying, and I was like whining about, I was like, oh, like, it's like, I look like a chipmunk. She said, but you're a very cute chipmunk. I was like, oh, you're right. And then, so it's like nothing crazy, but like, I'll still bring it up sometimes because I just think it's funny. And then on the ride home, I remember I was just crying a lot. And then somehow I was lucid enough to plug to connect my phone to the aux in her car, and I told her, I said, I'm gonna play sexually explicit music. And she said, how about we don't do that? And so then I don't know how I was even aware enough, but I ended up like putting on my like Owl City playlist, so it's nothing crazy, but that's what I remember. And I had all four wisdom teeth gone. Okay, the next question is, what TV shows do you watch? Love this question. Any chance I can, I get to yap about like all of my fandoms and my favorite things. Like I get so excited. So I've watched a bunch. And let's see. So right now I'm watching Criminal Minds. Really good. I'm watching Criminal Minds. Arcane. I've already seen that, but I'm like rewatching it. Supernatural, which I've seen like a couple times, like the whole thing. Let's see, what else? Gilmore Girls. I'm rewatching that currently as well. That's like my favorite show. It's one of my favorite shows. It's like I just put it on in the background. It's like so comforting. So yeah, so Gilmore Girls, Supernatural, Criminal Minds, Arcane, Dead Boy Detectives. That's a really good show. Oh my god, it was like, I need to rewatch it immediately because it's so Halloween and it's so good. And it's gay, so of course I had to watch it. Oh my god, there's so many others that I'm blanking on. Young Royals. I love Young Royals. I've seen that a few times as well. That's such a good show, and I'm actually in the middle of rewatching that too. So yeah, I watch quite a few TV shows, and they're all so good. They're just too good. Okay, the next question is, do your friends and family know about your channel? Yes, they do. I think a couple of them are actually subscribed. And then, what was your favorite subject in school? That's a good question, because I did not like school. My favorite subject was probably my foreign language, because I took 2 years of Italian and then 2 years of Korean. And I loved taking Korean. That was like really fun. Because at the time I was watching a lot of Korean dramas and listening to a lot of Korean music. So I remember liking math to an extent, but I never got to like a super high level. I was just at like a very standard, just like high school, graduate, like senior. But yeah, I never did like calculus, so probably like math. I was pretty good at English too, but I hated writing essays. Yeah, so probably math and my foreign language. Let's see. The next question is, have you seen any bands or artists in concert? I haven't actually. I know when I was like a freshman in high school, we saw, what's his name? Torrin Wells in concert. He's like a gospel singer. Or gospel. He's a Christian. He's like a worship singer, but it's like pop, whatever. And that was when our parents made us go to church. So we did see him in concert, but that's like the only, yeah, that was all. The next question is, what's been your worst injury you've ever had? And honestly, I've been lucky enough, knock on wood, I've been lucky enough that I have not really had any injuries, or any, like, serious injuries. But the worst injury that I ever had was, when I was in a car accident. When I was very, very young, and I injured my hip, but it wasn't like I, like, broke any bones or anything. It was just, like, a really, really bad bruise and, like a muscle injury. So that's the worst injury I've had, as far as I can think. And then the next question is, what do you look for when making new friends? This is a good question, because I feel like I don't like go out of my way to make friends, unless I like really like am like really liking the vibe of like a person. I don't try and make new friends a lot, if we're being real. But what do I look for? I look for holding the same values, basically. So, like, sharing the same views, politically and, like, socially. And just, like, being able to be myself, because I'm very peculiar. That's how people would describe me. So, it's just somebody that I can, like, that I'm comfortable just, like, being really weird around. That's what I look for when I'm making new friends. Let's see. The next question is, what first got you interested in ASMR? So, what first got me interested is that I started watching GB ASMR, I think when I was in middle school. Maybe it was in early high school. It was one of the two. Yeah, I started watching GB. And then from there, I just started watching a bunch of ASMR videos. And then I remember I started making videos for, like, my friend. Because she had trouble sleeping, and my ASMR videos helped her. So, it was very much like GB and, like, kind of the other popular ASMR artists at the time. And, I mean, they're still popular now, even, so. And then the next question is, how would your friends best describe you? I mean, I kind of answered that earlier. I said people would describe me as very peculiar. I've also been told that I'm very fun to be around, that I make people feel comfortable. Maybe because I'm weird, and people are like, oh, he's not gonna judge me. I'm like, yeah, I'm not. Like, so. Okay, next question. And so this next one now is from Small_Croc. Other than Halloween things, what are some of your hobbies? Love this question. I have a lot of hobbies, honestly. I work out a lot. I lift weights. I go for runs. I'm a writer. I'm an author. I write. Yeah, I write. I dance. I trained, like, professionally in a classroom setting for, I think it was 6 years, 5 years. It was 5 or 6 years. I crochet. I make, like, mood boards, or like aesthetic boards. So I kind of do, like, a mix of things, but the main things that I do, like, my main hobbies, other than, like, watching and, like, doing Halloween activities, is writing and working out. And I do read as well. I love reading. Okay, these next several questions are from New You 23, who actually requested this video. So, okay, first question is, who are your favorite YouTubers? Let's see. I'm subscribed to multiple channels that make it's like vintage music, like vintage playlists with like a animated picture on the screen. Those have been so soothing to me. I think one of them is like Laprizi, I think is how it's pronounced. And they're one of my favorites. I listen to them all the time. Yeah, there are other, there's multiple channels that make like vintage playlists. Typically it's like 1940s, 1950s music. And I'm subscribed to like quite a few of them. But the only name that I can think of right now is Laprizi. So, because I also listen to not just vintage playlists. I listen to like ambiance, like Hogwarts ambiance, like an autumn day at Hogwarts. I love those videos. I love those videos. So good. I listen to, honestly, most of my favorite YouTubers are like music or like meditation YouTubers. And like there's a couple of my favorites that are like subliminal makers, and I love listening to those because they're just like very soothing. The next question is, do you play any video games? Yes and no. Like, because the video games that I play are not, they're just on my laptop or on desktop. My siblings have the gaming consoles, and I'm more of a laptop kind of guy. Like, I don't have the need for any gaming consoles. I do want a Nintendo Switch, actually, but I don't feel like buying it because it's too much money right now. But yeah, so I do play some video games on my laptop. I play Roblox. Listen. I play Roblox. I haven't played it. No, hey, Roblox horror games. Listen, they're fun. Dress to Impress. Like, come on, it's just too much fun. I play. Let's see. There's this game that I bought on Steam, and it's like Haunt the House. Because previously I would play it on like a browser, like on Google. And then they took it off, and they were like, "Oh, you have to like download the game." And I was so pissed, because that was like my go-to game. I would play it whenever I was bored. So it was like Steam was having like a sale, so I just bought it. So that's a video game that I play, and I also play I believe it's like a Dance of Fire and Ice, I think is what it's called, and it's like a rhythm game. And I've beat every level because it's addicting. And I do, let's say, Plants vs. Zombies. I've beat that game like a million times. I have played, let's see, Guild Wars 2. That's also a laptop game. So yeah, I don't play a lot of video games, honestly. The next question is, what made you start a YouTube channel? Honestly, I kind of just gathered up the courage, because I'd been wanting to start an ASMR channel for a while. So yeah, so I kind of just like gathered up the courage, and I was like, I'm just gonna start filming and posting. So the next question is, do you have any tattoos? If so, can you show any, and do they have a specific meaning? So I do have tattoos, actually. I just recently got them done on my birthday, and I scratched the scabs off, even though I knew that I wasn't supposed to, because I was doing all the research. And everybody's like, oh, like the golden rule of taking care of your tattoo is you don't scratch off the scabs, don't pick them off. I'm like, okay, well, I'm gonna pick them off anyway. So I did, and it didn't really mess it up that much, honestly. Like, it's not even noticeable. So I'll probably get them touched up at some point, but I don't really care. So my first tattoo, let's see. I don't know if you can see it that well, but it says Moon 1, and it was my Nano's nickname, and he passed away about a year and a half ago, almost 2 years actually, I think. So I wanted to get that tattooed. My next tattoo, that bruise is actually from, I had blood work done recently, so just ignore it. But it's KAZ2Y5, and it's Baby's license plate from Supernatural. It's like the original, because in the early seasons, Baby's license plate is KAZ2Y5, and then they have to change it once, like, because the feds are after them, basically, and they have to change it later on. But it's not as nice, so I wanted, like, the original license plate numbers tattooed. So, those are my only 2 tattoos currently. But I plan on getting many, many, many more. I have a whole, like, list of the tattoos that I want, so. The next question is, which countries would you like to visit? Honestly, Italy, because that's where my Nano is from. That's where my Nano's family is from. I would love to go to Korea, and just and Canada. I want to go to Canada, and I don't have a huge desire to travel, but there is like a couple countries that I would be like, hey, like, that'd be nice to kind of maybe go for. I want to go to Scotland. I want to go to Scotland. I want to go to Scotland. But yeah, like, I'm not really much of a traveling person, but like I just listed, there are some countries that would be nice to visit, honestly. Okay, the next question is, what are your favorite clothing stores? So, I really don't shop for clothing a lot. I'm gonna be real, and when I do, typically it's thrifted. I guess when I do buy clothing from stores, I have bought some stuff from Hot Topic and from Target, but like, that's really it. Like, I don't really, because they have some nice clothing, but even then, like, I try not to buy from the big corporations. So typically I go to like local thrift stores, or like there's a Goodwill. There's like a couple Goodwills around town that I will like I'll kind of shop around. So yeah, so I don't really have any favorite clothing stores, honestly. The next question is, what pets do you have? So I actually don't have any pets. We did have a dog, and her name was Nala, and she passed away last year. But I really want a cat. But I'm very allergic to them, which sucks, because they're so cute. The next question is an interesting one. I read it, and I was like, I don't know how to answer this, but I'm gonna read it anyway. What do you think is the safest way for animal control to catch a big bear on the loose in the neighborhood? That's such an interesting question. What do you think is the safest way? I think that the safest way would be to have a bob off. Period. At the end. I just think that if they gave the bear pets and kisses, that would solve a lot of problems. I'm just saying. Okay, the next question is, what is your biggest pet peeve? My biggest pet peeve. I was literally just talking about this the other day. And of course now I'm forgetting everything that I have ever said ever. My biggest pet peeve is when people have like a very cluttered workspace. Like when I clock into work and I'm like, okay, like I'm like ready to just get shit done so I can clock out later. And I come into work and it's like a mess. Like people are working and there's like shit all like everywhere. There's jewelry on the counters and there's like boxes of merchandise that are like opened or unopened that are like stacked in a place that it's like, girl, like we have to get through. So that's my biggest pet peeve, low key. At least currently, I feel like my biggest pet peeve tends to change. Okay, the next question is favorite foods. Okay. So this is kind of a silly answer because I have autism. And so I eat the same meal every day. I make it for myself and I eat it every day. And it's just my favorite food. So it's over easy eggs, hash browns, a blueberry muffin or a chocolate chip muffin, avocado, maybe some fruit, and iced coffee. That's like my favorite food. And I always eat it within like 5 minutes. Like it's so good. And I can make it the way that I like. So that's those are like my top, like all the foods that I just listed in that meal are like my top foods. But I do love a good like chicken and rice. That's such like a white thing to say, but it's like if the chicken is seasoned well, I'll tear it up live. Like it's crazy. So yeah, that's my answer. The next question is, who are your favorite ASMR channels? I love this question. I love this question. So my favorite ASMR channels. I keep getting sidetracked, y'all. I'm a yapper. So Etta Fox. I love Etta Fox. Let's see. There's Etta Fox. Goodnight Moon, I think is pretty sure is the name. Sometimes like I will forget names. Etta Fox, Goodnight Moon. Oh, I think it's like Siri Mary. She does like horror ASMR. I love her ASMR. It's so good. And it's so tingly. It's like insane. Like she's like the only horror ASMR artist that I've heard of. Cause I remember stumbling across her page and I was like, people make horror ASMR? Like that's just so cool to me. And it's so tingly. There was one video of hers that I watched like over and over again because I was like, it was so calming. So those are like my top 3. I listen to a lot of Reiki ASMR artists. ASMR artists, hello plural. One of them, I think it's like the Reiki Healing Hope ASMR. So good. It's so relaxing. And there's other channels that I can't think of the names, but those are like my top ones. They're so. Oh, I also okay. See, now I'm like remembering things. Dalton Does ASMR is so tingly. I was like the microphone. It's insane. Of course I'm subscribed. His ASMR is so tingly. It's insane. But yeah. So now our last question is: does pineapple belong on pizza? I'm gonna be so real. I don't really eat pizza. If I eat pizza, it has to have white sauce on it, because the red sauce will, okay, certain pizzas I will eat if it has red sauce, if it's like made a certain way, that only my autism taste buds know. So I fear I'm not really qualified to answer this. I feel like it does. It's kind of like, just do what you want. Like, I really only eat pizza if it has white sauce on it. So, like, why shouldn't pizza have pineapple on it? Like, yeah. I think my answer to that is just do what you want, eat what you want, live how you want. This is crazy that this video has turned out to be so long. I hope that it was soft-spoken in like a good way, because I'm still trying to find my ASMR soft-spoken voice. So I hope that it was relaxing and possibly brought you tingles. And if you have made it this far, thank you for watching. Now you know kind of about me and my channel. And I hope that you will subscribe. Please subscribe. Please leave a like, a comment, and subscribe. I would love if you would subscribe to me. Yeah. I will see you all next time.